And what we're going to look at today is just to get a sense of how much variation there is within a font. And we're going to use a tool to do that. It's called Identifont. So what I've done is I've gone and found a couple of greeting cards that I had in my house. We have a kind of a box of greeting cards, birthday cards, and wedding cards, and just if someone's birthday's coming up and I need to go get a card, I don't have to run to the store. I got some downstairs. So I want you to do the same thing. I'm hoping you have some greeting cards in your house, or maybe you've got some birthday cards that you were given, whatever. Just go and take a look and grab something like that. And if you don't have a greeting card, you can do this with a book or a magazine. Um, just find something with some typography. I like greeting cards because they're usually designed by a designer, meaning that they use a professional font. But there are some, you can go and use a magazine if you need to. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look at this. Now you've got two typefaces here. Okay, this is a script typeface. This is all the same. Look at the W. Okay, that is the same typeface there. And then that W is repeated here. And then we've got a second typeface here, which is another font. Okay, so this is a script, which is repeated here. You can see that the G is the same as the G and the Y here. And then we've got this, which is a serif font. And you can see there are some small serifs on these letters. What we're going to do is we're going to use a tool to go and identify, or try and identify this font here. Okay, so I'm going to put that there, and I'm going to bring this guy just over here so we can see both. Okay, if you go to Google and type in Identifont, okay, and then go to this. All right, so there's a thing here called fonts by appearance, and we're going to use this tool just to get a sense of how many fonts are out there and how easy or hard it is to identify a font and what we're looking at. Okay, so let's go here. The first thing it's going to say is it's going to ask you a bunch of questions. Now, we don't have all of the letters, and what you'll notice is we're going to be using only lowercase. There are no uppercase letters in this subset of fonts. So we're going to go limited set of letters. Otherwise, it'll be asking me questions about letters I don't have. It might say, what does the uppercase Q look like? I don't know because I don't see that. What does the uppercase M look like? I have no idea because I don't have that. So we're going to go limited set of letters, and I'm going to go A to Z lowercase. Okay, apply filter. And then it's only going to ask me questions about the lowercase fonts. So is the lowercase G a single story or double story? And then it gives you an example. Okay, that's single, that's double. Well, there's the G up here, and it is a double story. So I'm going to click on that, go to the next question. Do the characters have serifs? Yes, they do. Okay, so I'm going to say yes, they have a serif. Is there a gap in the lower story of the lowercase g? Now you can't see it, maybe you can, but I've got the card in front of me, and there is a small space between the G there, okay? So I'm gonna go like this. Now I'm not gonna go through all the questions. There's about, I think it asked me about 20 questions before I got to a final answer. But notice that there are, I'm gonna go back up to this point, there are 722 possible fonts left. I'm gonna go back up, and each time I do this, if I go, here, 12,364 possible fonts. Okay, and every time I answered a question, okay, it gives me a lower subset. Okay, so this narrows that set down based on my answers. Notice that there's also a not sure. So if you're like, I'm not sure, I can just skip this question. Okay, now I went through that whole process, and it actually ended up giving me 11 possibilities based on my answers, and it did in the end identify that this font is called Sacker's Solid Antique Roman, and there it is. So if you look at the A, let's see here, look at this Y here, okay? There's that Y, okay? And you can see that is indeed the right font. There's that G, okay, and there's that little space in my G. Oh, you know what? I'm wrong. This W is. Oh wait, no, never mind. We don't. That's a different level, a different font. No, this is the right font. Okay, there's a G. Take a look at that A there. So it did a pretty good job of finding that font. And you're gonna try and do the same thing. You're gonna go find a card or find a magazine, and see if you can identify a font. Once you've done that, I want you to go to your blog, take a picture of the typeface that you found, okay, that you used. You can take a photo of the card or whatever it is, and then you can identify the font. And if you found the name of the font. You can take a screen grab of this and include that in your blog. You can take a picture of it and include it in your blog with your phone if that's how you get it. And then maybe what you want to do is just identify some of the interesting characteristics, right? So like, for example, you've learned in the tutorials that this is called an ascender. So these have got really long ascenders. This is a unique characteristic. It's also got things like it's very geometric. So they're, quite rounded and quite straight up and down. You can also say things like this is a serif font, and you can identify some of the serifs. So you can just put a short little a short little paragraph just saying the name of the font that you found, where it was, any photos that relate to it, and maybe just a short little bit of information about it. Okay. Note things like who the designer was, when it was designed, and interestingly, you can also go and see what it costs to buy this font. So click on one of these links here, and it'll take you to how much it costs to buy that font. That font costs $45, $46 just to use that font. Um, Interesting. And oftentimes they are sold in packages. So if you wanted to buy more than just one, you can buy like a whole set of them, but they're quite expensive. And depending on how many people are using them. Anyways, that's about it.